Ask any young hipster if they intently watch the nightly news on ABC at 7 p.m, and you'll most likely receive an indignant no. Try asking them if they watch The Daily Show or The Colbert Report, and you'll be bombarded with an entire recap of last night's episode. But does regularly watching satirical and unconventional forms of news mean that young people are actively engaging in something new, interesting, important, and informative? Yes, they are. And I'm prepared to take this one step further and say young people engage in a far more sophisticated form of news through both news consumption and production. New news is becoming more and more popular with young people, achieving ratings that equal and at times surpass that of traditional news broadcasts. According to data provided by Comedy Central, during 2008, The Daily Show and The Colbert Report had an average nightly audience of around 1.8 million, consisting mostly of 18 to 29-year-olds. Compare this to data by Nelson Media Research that reveals Fox News' primetime show Hannity and Combs had an average audience of 1.9 million, and CNN's highest-rated show Election Center had an average of 1.2 million. Now, not only is The Daily Show and The Colbert Report comparable in terms of ratings, but according to a study done by Indiana University professor Julia Fox, each show contained an equal amount of news content as a regular news broadcast. But they take this one step further. Both shows use comedy to force young people not only to absorb the news, but to put deeper thought into why it matters into their own lives. Jonathan Gray sums it up perfectly in his article, Is New News Better Than No News?, saying, both are, to my own taste, brilliant parody, and not only play with the news, but demand constant reflection on what news really is. Fisk also stresses the importance of new news programs in his book, Reading the Popular, saying, it is more important in a democracy to stimulate people into making national and international events matter in their daily lives than it is to teach the truth of those events. Watching new news programs is certainly engaging with the news, but this isn't the only way young people do it. Wander into a young person's bedroom at night and you'll most likely find them in front of their computer screen, navigating between Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Blogger. But despite what their parents might tell you, these websites are so much more than just boredom killers. Through these websites, young people produce and share news, acting as a kind of filter that not only examines the news, but passes on only what's relevant to themselves and their peers. News is produced in the form of status updates, tweets, sharing links on each other's walls, blogging, and video blogging, and they do this on a daily basis. Dr. Stephen Harrington's Week 7 lecture explored this idea and even went as far as to say young people are citizen journalists that act as gate watchers, sorting and interpreting the news, which helps to manage the at times chaotic media system. Whether young people are producing news through social networking or file sharing websites, or regularly watching news programs, it's abundantly clear that they engage with the news and do so at a far more sophisticated level than traditional news forms.